Hey man, it's been a couple days. Things have been kind of hectic. Just a lot of stuff going on. Hectic more than hectic. Um, I did a little bit of work on the print, drew out some Skeletor some more, added some things. I didn't really film it or describe anything. I think the last session that I filmed I did put online. So it is on my YouTube page. You just need to go check it out. What are we doing here? We just need to finish the waist and the legs, throw the hands on, adorn the armor, which is part of, his whole thing. And we should be good. We can just start moving along to the we can start moving along to the colors, and I think, given the time we have, we can actually drop that out. Nope, don't drop that out. Given the amount of time that we have today, we should be able to start flatting. Flatting is the term used for when you add flat colors to a digital piece. It's a term that relates to doing colors in any program you choose. Again, I work in Clip Studio Paint. Some people use Procreate because they work on Mac products or they're using their Apple or iPad. A lot of people, when they have the money, they use Photoshop. Photoshop has now gone from a program where you spend a couple $1,000s in order to get a bunch of discs and install them and pay for updates and what have you. It is now online, and you can pay a subscription fee for a bundle. It's not bad, it's just, as usual, the Adobe products tend to be memory hogs. You go to do one thing and it just bogs your computer down, and most people don't like that. People tend to want things that are speedy, and it's like everybody wants to go through the drive-through and get their food right away. And I can't honestly say that I blame them. You're doing stuff. You want to. Like this, so he would have to do this. The hand would be up here. Go like that. Thumb on the inside, as per usual. Do this. I can't say I blame them. When you're working on projects, you're doing things, and you're actually getting paid for them. You want to turn out as many as possible, and you want to do it as quickly as possible. And you definitely want to do that so that you can turn over more projects and make more money. Also, if your reputation becomes one for speed, Ed can get things done in a quick fashion, then, you tend to be able to do a lot more, and people speak highly of you, and your name gets thrown around, and your reputation becomes synonymous with quality, really. There are times where speed does not indicate quality, but when it comes to getting projects done, the more you can do, the more quality you can put out. And like I said, people want things quick, and sometimes I can't blame them. As for the chaos stuff that's been going on around here, it's mostly been inward journeys of me thinking about depressing things, and me trying to figure out myself and what I really want to do, and I had someone present something to me the other day, and I know it was meant as a constructive criticism, but I read way too much into it, and it caused me to get pretty sad. it led me to wonder if I should even be doing stuff like this. So, what you'll find is you will suffer through a lot of self-doubt when you go to do things like this. When you go to become creative, when you express yourself artistically or musically, or well, music is art. Whenever you come to express yourself, you always have bouts of self-doubt and imposter syndrome. Whether or not you're good enough, whether, does everybody like my stuff? Am I fooling myself? That was something that I was thinking the other day. Am I fooling myself? I've been doing this for a while, since I was a little kid. And yeah, I've learned a lot of great things that come through, doing. And I've learned a lot of what not to do. I've learned a lot of what to do. And my problem really comes in the form of self-doubt. Because as good as people see my work and think it is, I see flaws and things that I could have done better, and it just leads me to believe that I might not be good enough. I might not be good enough. Maybe that's the case, and maybe that's not the case, but having people disappointed in your speed and the amount of time it takes you to do something, it makes you sad. You want to do right, you want to get things done in a timely fashion, but sometimes you can't. You get a lot of things going on. You mismanage your time, which is why I try to stress time management. That staff is a Skeletor. Alright, so let's bring up you. Those pull back. Skeletor's hand could be thicker. My point in telling you this seems as though I'm trying to rant, and I'm not. I'm trying to impart on you wisdom. Well, I'm trying to impart on you experience, really, so that you just don't have to go through the feelings that I sometimes go through. I'd rather that you hear it from me that, if you have doubt, you're not alone. Everybody I know, all the professionals I know, all of the artists, all of the people that work well and do things, in my opinion, way better than me, suffer through self-doubt too. But one thing that I do know is that art is subjective. When you create, it's subjective because you express yourself in a way that's familiar to you, in a way that is comfortable for you. And some people either get it or they don't. And the people that don't are the ones that tend to speak up the loudest about it. They don't understand what you're doing, so their opinion is that you suck. And it's not that you actually suck, it's that they have a hard time with explaining why they dislike how you're expressing yourself. They either don't understand it themselves or they just can't find the words for it. That doesn't mean that you suck. It just means that they're not receiving the message or the expression that you're trying to convey to them. It's not on you. It's on them. So, my advice to you is to always express yourself. information that I'm giving you are tips that can help you express yourself better. That's all. You don't have to do it the way I do it. You don't have to do it the way that I'm trying to give you tips about. But it's a great place to start. I'm not doing it the way I do it, but I find that it's always wonderful to know that you're not alone. When you have a thought, or when something happens to you and it goes wrong, and you feel bad, it's always nice to know that other people have gone through it. And it's always nice to know that you're not silly for the way that you think. You're not silly for what other people have said to you. It's just, I feel that it's supportive and it helps. And I hope it helps you. I hope what I'm telling you gives you comfort. Something's going on with my keyboard. The keys, they're not reacting as well when I hit the keyboard, when I tap the keys. And it's not that I hit the keys too hard or do anything silly. It's, I don't know what the heck it is. Maybe it's time to get a new keyboard. Eraser tool. The keyboard that I have is just a real inexpensive Bluetooth model. I think I got it at like Walmart for like 20 bucks. The mouse came with it, and what you do is you take a dongle. A dongle is one of the little receivers. It's a USB driven receiver that you put into the tower on your computer. And you take it and you plug it in the back of the tower so that the signal can go from your keyboard and your mouse to the tower. And it can process the information and do what it's supposed to do. Now, with all the processing speed that modern technology has, you'd like to think that it moves really fast and I can do exactly what I want to do, and that's just not the case. Sometimes the processing speed can't keep up, or I'm doing things that are so high resolution that they hog the memory of the graphics card and they just... But we make do. It gives us the opportunity to exercise patience. Look at Skeletor, he's so buff. And honestly, I think this pec is too low. I think if I'm going to impose some drama, it should be like that. Right? Where's the pec go? Pec goes like right here. In the middle of the bicep. So if I tuck that bicep in, nah, you know what? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You know, this is what I'll do. Black it in, hide your mistakes. No, I will switch over to a clear brush and I will carve away the bits. Because remember, we can do that. Digitally, real cool. You can work your lines over and over and over again. You know? And you make things better. Command Z. When you are when you're working on traditional methods such as bristleboard or vellum, just canvas, whatever you're working on. By the way, vellum is another type of bristlewood. I keep itching my nose because my nose feels itchy. It feels like I have something coming out of it, so my first inclination is to like pluck my nose, like, bah! I don't have a booger or anything, but if I were a smart aleck, I'd be like, hey, you're probably doing coke. I don't have the money for cocaine. How could I be doing cocaine? Plus, if I was doing cocaine, speed would not be a topic of conversation in regards to how quickly I can produce artwork. It just wouldn't. So what I like to do sometimes is, because this stuff works in layers, it works in... Hey, let me show you. There. Okay. So this is acetate. I've had this pad for the longest time. Now, the way this stuff works is... it's clear. See-through. So you ink on the front, and you put acrylic paint on the back. This surface has been coated so that it takes the acrylic paint well. It works like an old-timey animation cell. But that's the way layers work. They're see-through. So you put one on top of the other, and that's what you can do. And I haven't worked with those since like high school. It gives me the opportunity to totally understand what it is I'm doing. Oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I get it, because I understand acetate cells. What is that? Man, what the... My point in telling you this is that this is the way that sometimes I like to sculpt my projects, my prints and stuff. I do one over the other. So if I mess up, oh come on, you. If I mess up as I'm drawing this hand or I'm drawing the armor, I gotta erase, and it's a thing that I have to like carefully move around so I don't disturb other lines and make other work for myself. But see, if I go and I put the armor on another layer, so like Staff of Chaos, let's bring that down. We'll just merge that down. Boom, now it's part of Skeletor. Ta-da! And then you shut Skeletor off, you still got hands. The hands are going to get merged down. But what I have to do first is I have to draw the hands and make sure that they're right and they're doing what I want them to. And that, when I'm done, I'll merge them down and they'll become a part of Skeletor. Now, see, I have friends that are cosplayers and I have friends with 3D printers. So what I had one of them do a while back was print up the Sword of Power for me. And I have She-Ra's, I don't know what the heck it's called. But this is the sword that I haven't glued it together or sanded it down and prepped it for the final stages. But this is what comes in handy when it comes time to use reference. See, I have this. So I just gotta go like this, right? So, yeah, okay, I get it now. See, when Skeletor's got his Sword of Power and he's pointing it down and he's trying to be cocky and commanding, right? We'll go to the sketch layer. Where are we at for this? Characters. And now watch. Let's zoom out a bit. Circle all this stuff because we still got to draw the legs and the foot and the loincloth thing. Alright, so we're on this layer, right? He's pointing that sword and he's trying to be all cocky. So the hilt goes like this. It's probably going up his forearm. So his thumb has to go under. It's going to go like that. So your thumb has a knuckle here, two knuckles. A knuckle here, knuckle here. So it's holding like that. The back of his hand is bracing some of the weight. this goes under, hand goes like this, except it's got to turn. So the thumb has to go like this, and then Skeletor's hand has to go like that. Now, what this tells me, right? Is that on the Skeletor layer? It is. What that tells me is that my placement of that sword is kind of wrong. So we're going to free transform it. We're going to bring it down. We're going to set the fulcrum here. How's that? Right? A little more so you can see the hand. And then you can also elongate the sword. And then make the end of it longer. Pull it down. Ta-da! Now that background there, see where the background's kind of sketch? And if you remember, the reason why we adjusted these lines and put this little bit of, why we had like that little aura around the sword is because it's noticeable but not noticeable. When you add the color is going to surround the sword. But visually, it's going to make you focus on it just a little bit more. You're going to see it, and you're going to be like, oh, pretty cool. The characters, okay. And this might be why things take me a little longer. Is because I get bogged down in details. Like I get mired the F down. And it can be frustrating for an editor. And something like this, it's like, I should just sketch it. I should just do it. No, I want to do the best I possibly can so that if I have to push myself, I get better than the best I possibly could. And that's not something I want to tell you to do. I don't want to be like, hey, you should do the thing. Like, you should aggravate the hell out of people by being a perfectionist. No. There are times where you have to pull the trigger and just do it. And those times all the time. See, what I try to do is do the best I can. But you should always do the best you can. You should always try to do your best. Always. Because as you do that, if that becomes your standard, to always do what you can, but calmly, you know, you just, man, I gotta do my best, but that's the best I can do right now. Not beat yourself up. Be cool with it. Unfortunately, that's the best I can do. And I can get better with it over time, but that's going to take some patience on my part. See, your knuckles usually have those lines in there, so if you just throw one or two lines, one or two, oh look, there's a knuckle. The perspective on it, though, I'm having a little difficulty with it, just because like my mind can't wrap around like how it's, like I can see it and I can envision it, but it's gonna go like that, and then the hand's gonna be over here, but down there, and then like that. No. Okay. You know what we can do? there is a tool that you can use called the Navigator. Oh man. Alright, so what the Navigator does is it gives you an overview of what the page looks like all together. See? The Navigator in Clip Studio Paint shows you what it's going to look like when you're done. So we'll come down like this, right? No. Like that. It's kind of upsetting me, but thinking too much about it. Go to character layer. See, there's the knuckle, right? Just like that. And the thing goes down, goes under, goes up. I mean, that makes sense, right? And then the thumb would come around here, go there, and then back. That's why it's messing me up. See, it's always good. It's always good to make mistakes and to figure out what it is you're doing wrong. I added one too many knuckles. There we go. Woohoo! That little thing right there. Swing back a little bit. How about we go ahead and do that? That adds some flair, right? A little bit of character. You think to yourself, hey, maybe. And you think maybe not. See how big it looks in that small screen? I'm going to transform it. I'm going to scale it. And shift it. Twist it a little. And turn that off. Is this brush? That's paint. Okay. Look at all of that. That's good shit, right? Should I have said that? I don't know. Alright. I mean, that's the way I motivate myself, is by saying dumb stuff. But I think the videos that I'm making, I'm trying to make them all ages, kid-friendly. And that's not a way to make things kid-friendly, Ed. remember right, Skeletor's belt has a little... Oh, wait, we have a reference thing, don't we? What's up over here? Boop. Oh, see, they put a belt on Skeletor that has a bat in it and all sorts of crazy goth stuff. Like, what is this guy, shopping at Hot Topic now? Oh, Skeletor used to look like He-Man, but he was blue and had different weapons and a scully face, and now he's like, meow. I listened to Panic at the Disco, He-Man. I wear mascara. I know all the words to Black Parade. Hey, I'm just thinking this here. You know how all the kids nowadays are like, I'm goth, I'm goth. You know, God, I'm going to sound so old. I grew up, I was born in the early 70s, and as I got to like preteen age, I was privy to a lot of things. I was privy to the birth of hip-hop, I was privy to punk, I was privy to goth. I was privy to the goth culture, and it was kind of hilarious when I first started. It was a lot of kids wearing black with like Robert Smith Depeche Mode hair, and they did wear black mascara, and they did paint their nails black, and it wasn't really a big thing because the punk rock kids were painting their nails, so why not? They smoked clove cigarettes, and they loved 18th century poetry. They dressed a lot better than the goths from nowadays do. They dressed with flair and had like frilly shirts with cuffs, and they were just the goth kids that existed in my childhood were just so much cooler. They were just so much cooler. Nowadays, they're like, let's wear bondage gear and listen to bands like ICP and just do silly, silly stuff that has no bearing on the goth culture whatsoever. Just wear black. People think you're goth. You know, to be great, let's watch the Nightmare Before Christmas and like Tim Burton movies. People will think that we're goth. Bruh. Goth was an entire culture in and of itself, and it was a culture. It was pretty damn cool. Just like the, what is this, 3rd, 4th, 70th wave punk? Just like just like this new wave punk. It's not, it's... You want to talk punk? Let's talk about Henry Rollins. My man was punk all the way. He still is to this day. And he doesn't perform on stage, and there's a very good reason for that. And he's said, like, look, I said what I had to say. I can't think of anything more. I'm not going to go on stage and play my greatest hits like some sort of jukebox. No. I mean, I'm sure he has valid points of view on society and the way it's turning out and what's going on, but he hasn't written any new songs. So as an artist, he's like, why should I get on stage? I haven't written any new songs. That's like, that guy is just totally punk. You know, why? That's like me, oh, I drew a comic book, but why should I go to conventions if I haven't done anything new? I'm working on new stuff, so I have to prep for it, but if I were not, like if I wasn't doing any comic work, I wouldn't go to conventions. Why would I go to conventions? Hey guys, come by and see the old guy who's just got some stuff that's been sitting around his house. He's trying to sell it. It'd be like a collectibles yard sale. Hey, I got this stuff that's left over. Come get it. Oh man. So let's make up a bat head because we can't zoom in far enough on that. I got a really funny idea. Ugh, what is wrong with you, Ed? You know, yeah. This print is for you, and it's because, you know, we came to the decision that this would possibly be the best way for me to give you tips on how to draw better and give you ideas into techniques and stuff. This part is for me. Ah, gosh darn it, Ren. There we go. Black. Let's see if I got this right. I'm on that screen. So, beep, boop, 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 boop. Oh, okay. So I whiffed it a little bit. A little bit. Let's do this. Fill it all in. So it goes like this. Weird group. Okay, that last circle was kind of not what I needed it to be. Oh, Ed. There we go. That's Skeletor's belt. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to do some stuff on the side. We'll make it look a little bit better. We'll come in like this. Do that. Take a look at our selection and see how we've done it nice and clean. Okay, see, we got some parts of this up here. That's one of the issues is when you're selecting a portion that's really small, you have to watch where your lasso tool is going, because you might grab stuff that you're really not looking to grab. There we go. Okay. That's good. Then we can erase this, make this cleaner, and then that's going to curve, so it's actually going to cut off on that edge of the belt. Because if you take a look at the reference, right, it's got that silvery bit that comes around here and goes up there, which you could use a tool to make the line a lot more crisp. Why do that? I think I've explained before that I like to produce my ink lines in a fashion that makes them look more personable, more humanitarian, I think I said. Did I say humanitarian? They look more human. They're not more humanitarian because that would imply some things like they donate to PETA or volunteer for the Red Cross. I just don't. That's not to say they're not. Well, PETA has been found to not be a cool place. But Red Cross, I mean, they do good things, right? I think. Let's zoom out. See what we're doing. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Go down to. There we go. So if you take a look at that belt. Oh, beep boop. If you take a look at that belt. This goes down here. And this go this way. That. See, I told you we'd fix it. I think I said a while back that I wasn't liking the way it was looking because it was weird. Oh, that's right. You can't see it yet because it's all kind of sketchy. Like that. These quads go like this. Do we really want to put a foot? I don't think so. It's too much work. There we go. So knee goes there. And then we can put this in the background. Oh, Skeletor's wearing a dress. But once that's all done, we can move on to the armor. Buff part. Skeletor. Oh, that's the chalk brush. Ooh. Yeah, like that. Like this. And this down here. And this comes over like that. You know, it's like I said, the best part about doing things digitally is that the lines can just be done over. Oh, I don't like the way this looks. Okay, you can erase it and you can draw it again. Just clean it up. That's that. Look at all of that. Okay. So this is going to go in here. That's going to go down here. And that's going to go like that. This. Ta-da! Alright, so you get the impression that Skeletor's legs are messing with the pieces of that loincloth, because there are 3 portions of a loincloth. And Looks weird, but not so weird. And if you're getting sick from me zooming in and zooming out, I apologize. I just have to keep figuring out where I'm putting things, so alright, let's skip that and go to this side. Clear. Look at that. All right, now last portion. We're gonna do this. It has to be the same though. It has to go down. There you go. You get the impression that one overlaps the other. At least you should when the color comes in. You stink. There we go. Okay. What was that? Oh, I was on the bar at the bottom, so it gave me some trouble. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I had this friend. He is a professional. He's licensed to draw Disney characters and Star Wars characters and Muppets and a whole host of different licensed characters. And he draws really well. You know, he gets a lot of work, and I'm very impressed by the stuff he does. And I ask him advice, like professional advice. I mean, he's cool with it, but I feel like maybe I bug him too much with what are seemingly dumb questions to me, but to him, I guess not. I asked him one time how he goes about getting such crisp and clean lines. Like, how do your lines just look so, like, good? They don't waver, they're not like shaky. Like, how do you do that? Just draw really fast. I've yet to master it, but I understood what he meant one day when I put down a line really quick, and the line was nice and crisp. And I was like, oh, draw real fast. Now I get it. Alright, so let's zoom out. Take a look at this. You know what we're missing? Skeletor's armor. Boop. Oop, nope, that's not what I was looking to do. That's a lot of work I would have just wasted. Okay. Come over here. Look at that, they're almost the same size. Reference. Reference, so I can draw this armor. Where are we at? Where's Skeletor? Okay. So we're going to Close up this reference. Come down to characters. So he has. This comes over here. Kind of thick. Kind of thick. Right, like that. And loop. And comes around. And he's got this circle in the middle of his chest with this thing. Let's go like that. And these bones come off. So these are going to be black. And if I've taught you anything about shortcuts, it's that we can just fill it with black and pull out the little rivets that he's got in there. Alright, and then we go this way. Right? Okay, so where is Skeletor? Skeletor's hands can merge down into Skeletor, right? So then we'll add another layer. Then will be for armor. And I always label my layers. I label my layers because if I don't, I could get lost and wind up digging through all the layers until I go, oh, that's right, there are my characters. That's what I'm sketching on. It happens in other projects. Now, as for other shortcuts, so we can turn off this reference until we need it again. As for another shortcut, backgrounds, bones. Okay, so we're going to do this. Shut off that. Turn this on. Delete that mask. We're going to turn off Papyrus and his skitties. We're going to take a look at these. That's right, my son. We're going to take one of the things we've already done and we are going to utilize it some more. Okay, so this, we'll grab this, right? Invert the selection, delete everything else, clean this bad boy up. Now, you might be saying to yourself, this is so cheap, why are you just using something that you've already drawn? Why not just draw another one? Why? Ooh, what is that? What else do I have there? Oh, there we go. So why don't we do this? Grab this, right? Cut it. Get rid of that layer. Turn this back on. Turn on Papyrus. Turn on skitties. Everybody's happy, right? And go up to Skeletor. Paste that bad Larry down. Come over here. Scale it down. it to look like a normal bone. And it should, in theory, start to resemble a normal bone. There we go. We just got to work against the shape of it, which is that it was like that, and we just kind of had to work against it in order to get it to where we want. So that, and then we will replace that, or copy that. Come on. Go to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal, bring that over here, place the fulcrum there, bring it to there. Right. That, then you copy it again, and then you go to Edit, and you go to Transform, Flip Vertical, bring it down here. Now it's going to be there. So use the fulcrum here.